Hey, look at this. Wonderful, the great outdoors. Oh, well, that didn't last very long, did it? Right, well, we'll kick off this week's vlog with a little bit of sad news, really. David from Spain's dad has passed away. And so David was, I've got quite a lot of things to sort out and put right, and family support, those sort of things. So David I don't know if you'll find time to look at this, I very much doubt it, to be honest, what will be going on. But if you do, heartfelt condolences from everybody connected with the channel. That's people that watch it as well, just people that comment on it. We're with you in spirit, David. Right, now Paul from West Country Wandering, his dad was in hospital last time we spoke. He's now out of hospital and recovering. Let's hope that continues then. And then we've got Michael from Poland, who says, unfortunately, I won't be with you next Friday, as I have to go into hospital again for more tests on my kidneys. Only in for 3 days or so, so I'll catch up with what I've missed on my return home. What's happening, folks? We're coming to pieces, aren't we? I think we perhaps need something of a distraction, and who better to provide that than James Weeks, our physics teacher from Canada. And James says, off to do some eclipse watching tomorrow. You might remember going back a bit, there was a good eclipse over in the Toronto area. And James says, in Toronto we get 99.7 totality, but one of my colleagues suggested that we should take all the year 12s to a place called Grimsby outside of Toronto for the full effect. 6 busloads to squeeze out another 0.3%. You get the impression James isn't too keen on that. It says the trip would usually take an hour and a half, but they're predicting massive traffic jams as people head towards Niagara Falls on the same route for the same reason. I'll be lucky to get home for late evening, he says, and the official virtual mascot, our Sumac, morning Sumac, won't be best pleased, I don't think. And just to add to James's misery, the weather has been cloudless for the past 2 days, but tomorrow promises to be cloudy with a chance of rain. It's too late to cancel the buses, so a nice wet day ahead. Well, yeah, we can all see you're off to enjoy that, James. Off on the right start. Malcolm Richardson. Yes, well, we're back now into the Withington film, which is on the end of the last vlog. And Malcolm Richardson says he liked the raw ambience of this stretch of the former MSWJ, Midland South Western Junction Railway, with its deep cuttings, high embankments and fine railway architecture. The trackway could be turned into a delightful footpath through the woods to Chedworth, couldn't it just? That would be absolutely ideal, wouldn't it? Or of course there's a tunnel to negotiate as well, which is brilliant. Trev, he says, as threatened a couple of weeks ago, I'm now back in harness. I'm ready to invade the channel again with any trivia nonsense that I can come up with. we love your trivia nonsense, Trev. We really do. He says, I had a lovely birthday and time with my brother when he came up recently, did lots of walking. Out with brother, not lovely. Good. And then Trev goes on to describe a little bit of history about the MSWJ. I find it easier to say Midland South Western Junction Railway than I do to read out just the capitals. What's the name of it? Don't know. I'm obviously off track, aren't I, at the moment? Let's see what we can sort out. Anyway, Trev goes on and gives us a little bit of history of the railway. Initials, that's the word I was looking for, initials. We got there. He said it was one of the survivors in the West that managed to get all the way to the grouping in 1923 without being plundered by the GWR. Yes, very often on these films in this area you find that the railway started off independent and they all eventually got swallowed up by the GWR. Well, there's one that managed to escape. Might be the only one. Right, Lionel and Mary Travels. Lionel's managed to sneak out and do a bit of filming. Worth keeping your eye on. He says all the work and toil that went into building that line, completely swept away in places, but at least some of it remains farther south with the Swindon and Cricklade Railway, doing their bit to preserve a few memories. Yeah, I haven't been down there yet. I must pop and have a look, see what it's like down there. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, the amount of effort to build it is just unbelievable, isn't it? And then it just gets, well, forgotten about, basically. Amazing. Ron from Abandoned Railways. Ron will be out there. The weather's improved slightly. Ron will be out there again without a shadow of a doubt. Keep a lookout. Something else will be coming. It's actually not raining at the moment. And the sun's out. Oh my word. Right. So Ron says he enjoys the matters arising. Yeah, we like our matters arising, don't we? And a very interesting walk on the SWMJR at Withington. That section from Withington to Chedworth would make an excellent greenway. Well, there's 2 votes straight away. Yeah, wouldn't it just? It would be going through the canopy of the trees as well. Beautiful, beautiful. Did anyone spot the gravestone, says Ron, in the mill stream by the Pheasant? I managed to get a screen grab of said stone, and it's engraved with the name Roger Holloway. Now, Charles from the USA of A says, another pleasurable trek, but I have to ask, at 2838, with the nosy pheasant, was that poor Roger Holloway's tombstone down in the creek? Of course, Charles coming from America refers to a stream as a creek. Well done, Charles, showing your heritage there. Wonderful. And Roger Holloway then, I did a little bit of Wikipedia on that, and he was a fantastic guy. He did everything from big game hunter to getting involved in the whiskey trade, finished up a vicar. And I would thoroughly recommend that you go and put in Roger Holloway, Withington, get you there a bit quicker, and read all the adventures that he was on in his life. Really, it's wonderful stuff. Yeah, I don't think that will be a headstone. I think it's probably more a memorial stone of some sort. I would have thought, but I don't know. Yeah, well done. Right, the hairy golfer. Still not playing golf, oh dear. I have to catch up with the garden first, he says. I wonder if that's under pressure. Fill the skip with block paving and sculpings, then move 2 tons of soil. He said, I know why Nabby's worked on beer, it's to numb the pain. I suggested he clear a path to the A&E to get his back repaired. And he replied, A&E said come back in August. Oh dear. Jim from New Zealand. Nice to see your younger identical twin brother on this interesting walk. Yes, that was filmed a little while ago, Jim, I have to say. Right, last week's film was on Padstow. And Lionel comes back on that one. He said, I noticed you had the nice lady assistant with you, keeping you in check. Yeah, nice lady assistant. Mary knows Padstow very well, or so she tells me. Beautiful sunsets at the end of the day, but you do have to be patient at times. Was that you and Pauline duetting at the end? Clearly, I know you've never heard me sing. That is probably to your advantage, I would think. David from Spain then, who says, when are you coming round with the pasties? Yes, I suggest it probably got lost in the post. The hairy golfer, again, our Simon, who runs under Engage on a shelf, which is probably more suited to this comment because he says, I saw a layout the other day on YouTube where someone has recreated the old line from the other side of the bridge at Padstow all the way down to the station and fish packing warehouse. It was wonderful. Wow. And I have actually searched out. I don't know if I've seen the same one Simon's seen, because there are a few about, but yeah, the recreation. when I go down there I try to look for old remains of the old railway, like that turntable. That must have been a big hole that they put that run round in, so that's got to be there somewhere. But it's very hard to sort of work out what was where and where to start looking. I'm using that layout now, I've got a better idea where to go. Assuming the layout's accurate, of course. I'll let you know in due course. Right. Trev again. I see you've gone as far as having your own boat moored there. PW didn't stand for Parkinson's walks, it stands for Padstow, regrettably, Trev. But there you go. He said, I love Cornwall too. Though the last time I was down there walking on Bodmin Moor, I lost my phone whilst walking between Rough Tor and Brown Willie. No sniggering at the back, please. Thankfully I met up with someone who offered to walk the path with me again and to keep ringing my number to see if we could hear it as we walked by. After only a short distance we heard it, and I found the phone in some grass behind a rock. I would never have found it by eyesight alone. Well, you met a knight in shining armour there, Trev, didn't you? How many people would offer to do that? Go back on the walk and keep ringing their phone for you. Brilliant, brilliant, whoever he was. Peter Payne. He said, oh, you can't beat Cornwall, especially out of season. Mind you, even last summer, Tanya and myself were able to find some nice quiet spots. Well, you can in Cornwall. I suppose it's true of other places as well. There tend to be honey pots, doesn't there, where people congregate. And even so, if there's a car park, they don't go far from the car park. So if you're prepared to hike half a mile or so, you can very often find that these places are considerably less crowded, shall we say. Well done. Excuse me. Donny says, I haven't been to Curnow, that's the Cornish for Cornwall. I haven't been to Curnow since September 22. And this has topped me up with the Merlin magic for now. Trouble is, I'm already fancying a pasty and I haven't even had my breakfast yet. Those pasties are something special, aren't they? Yes, very true. Jim, how nice to be there in the quiet season and not have to mix with all the hoi polloi. Glad you took your camera. Yeah, well, it was a 50-50 job. I took it in the end. And Rodney finishes us off this week. He says, so pleased you packed the camera with the Speedos. You must know something I don't know, Rodney, because there's no way my Speedos are coming out this time of year, mate. Well done. Right, now, archive film in a few minutes then, in a few seconds, is a Winter Shadows walk. This is a walk I did going back quite a while. Went out one frosty morn to film all the lovely frost on the plants and the fences and the goodness knows what. But the sun came up too quick, or it could be that I got out too late. Just about possible, I suppose. And so I put some music on it, shoved it through there, and you get half and half really. A little bit of winter walk, a little bit of winter shadows walk. See how we get on with that. Right, that takes care of that. Now, next week is something completely different. I think it's only about 3.5 minutes long, something of that nature. And my son and I went on the Gloucester Warwickshire Steam Heritage Railway a week or so ago. And Adam, as he does, got his phone out and was filming little bits and pieces and photographing bits and pieces here and there. And at the end of the day, he sent it all to me, and I looked at it and thought, yeah, I think that I can make a film out of that. So it's a day on the railway, Gloucester and Warwickshire Steam Heritage Railway, and the music background is from granddaughter Louise, the lovely Louise, who wrote this song, produced it, sung it for her sister's wedding, which was a few months ago. Quite enjoyable, we think, but then we're a family, we would, wouldn't we? So see what you make of it. And I'll see you then on the Gloucester Warwickshire Railway next Friday. Don't be late. Thursday morning, and we're off down the old pitch. A nice jaunty angle of the road sign. Crossroads. We'll go straight over. Well, this was supposed to be a walk in the frosty, lovely conditions which it was yesterday. Frost hanging on all the trees. But as you've seen, we're a bit late for that. I was turning into a shadows walk. That's no worse for that, I don't think. Back to the crossroads, up the hill, home. Cup of tea. I hope you enjoyed that. Try to make something of it. If you did, watch me on the next one.